Hey, kids, it's time for another exciting episode of KWJUDAS.
This is the Dan Flugel Project here on KWJUDAS, Gumption City Radio. And he's sitting behind me, so I'm trying to reposition here. Hey, what's going on?
How you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm not too bad.
I got Dave with me over here.
How's it going, guys? Nice to meet you.
You're the bass player?
I'm a bass player, background singer. Yeah.
So, is it just you two, or do you have other members?
We have a drummer right now, Jared, and he is out of town, or he would have probably come along to say hey.
Well, that's okay, because we don't have a mic for him.
There you go. That works. Hey, Jared, how you doing out there?
But, yeah, mad props to the drummer.
Yeah, he's great.
We actually, it's not uncommon for just one or two people to come represent the band.
Sure.
So it's all good.
Yeah.
As long as you're not like Slipknot, trying to cram like 9 people.
Right,
in here.
yeah, no. We're not Slipknot.
Yeah,
That's okay.
We used to, like I said, we used to have a much bigger area, and we did all of this live.
That's cool.
And it was fun. It made for like a unique and more original recording, but way more time consuming.
Yeah, way longer of a process.
Yeah,
Okay.
just the setup and sound check and everything took sometimes longer than it took to record the show. And now when we just kind of cut and paste songs in, and that you just send me your waves in advance.
It's easier. It's not as fun, but
it's so much easier.
I bet.
And it goes by much smoother. And, the sound quality is still there of what you had in the studio. Sometimes our live recordings didn't always sound all that great. But we still got them all archived on our YouTube channel, which took forever to do.
I bet.
But it got to the point, we went like 5 years recording shows without ever really doing anything with them. And by the 6th year, I was just like, man, if I'm going to still do this show at all, I need to archive these shows.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
we would record them or do them live on the air and record it while we did it. And if we pre-recorded it and it went up at its time, then that was the only time you got to hear it because we weren't archiving it anywhere. So it would go on the air, whether it was live or a recording, but then it would sit just in our computer doing nothing.
We'd pretty much just broadcast it once on our radio station, and that was it. But yeah, it's good to finally have it all in one place. It's actually in many places. We found one of those middleman things that just puts it on Spotify and Apple Music and Google Play and Iheart Radio.
Anywhere once it goes up.
So it's like everywhere now.
Yeah.
Can I set the vibe for the people that are listening?
Yeah, set some vibe.
The vibe here is very jungle. It's we've got a lot of tapestries in this room, very small room. Thank you for the fan. The fan
we should probably turn that off.
Down at least.
Turn it down.
Feels great. Yeah, we got some like bamboo bird cages and lots of plants and good lighting. It's a very chill atmosphere. I love it.
Thanks. I did it myself.
Excellent.
And like I said, it took some time to make sure this room looks the way it does, man. We may not be able to have live bands in here anymore, but I mean, look at the place.
Yeah.
Look at it.
It's elaborate.
It's just a jungle lodge.
I had to use a tape measure for this wall. Make sure that all the guitars are equally spaced apart.
That is
Yes,
cool.
we do have guitars on the wall. Bass is mostly Judas. I want to props to the bass player, right? Right here.
Indeed.
you
Rock
go.
me, brah.
Yeah.
You're the bass player. I'm mostly bass. As I said, I play a little bit of guitar. I've got a lot of instruments that like I can get a sound out of. You know what I mean? But I've never been professionally trained how to play anything I've got. I've never had a lesson, and I'm in like 3 or 4 bands. I write all the music, but I don't actually write or read notation or tabs.
Okay.
So everything's all up here.
Doing it by feel.
Right. By feel and by ear, which, he's also in my band, The Wizard is.
Oh.
And
What do you play?
He does percussion.
Nice.
Auxiliary percussion. And he used to do theremin, which we've been talking about busting back into.
Yeah, we need to get the
Y'all know what a theremin is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Word.
Yeah, that thing is cool.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They are.
It's a lot of
So
fun.
you got all the good toys, Wizard.
Yeah, I do have some fun toys.
Yeah, all I do is bass, banjo, and lap harp. And then we got a trombone player. And it makes for some weird stuff.
Eclectic mix, yeah.
Where do you guys play?
We're called the Delphic Quorum.
Okay.
And we play...
in anywhere we can get in at. we do a lot of bars. We have some venues that we frequent.
Aces High is a place that we like to try
a lot.
Aces High.
To go to as much as we can. We're doing a house show actually right here. I don't know if you saw how small that living room is.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a show.
Wow.
Yeah.
In
We
that
take
living
the
room.
couches out.
Holy
put all
cow.
the people in there.
Yeah, we've done it before.
Wow.
We've done
times.
it with a full drum kit even.
Wow.
See, he doesn't have a full drum kit. He's got like a djembe and some cymbals and like wooden frogs, stuff like that.
Wow.
But it doesn't take up as much room as a full kit would.
Yeah.
But we have had a full kit in here before. And just paste it up against the wall as far back as we can.
So what do you do with the fish and the salamander?
They get to be a part of it.
All right.
Actually, I don't think the fish was here last time we did that.
No, it wasn't.
What instruments do they play?
The fish? Backing vocals.
There we go.
They always do like the oohs and the ahs and the oi oi ois.
That's good.
Great.
The fish and the salamander.
Yeah.
Uh,
We're going to
that,
have to write a song that's named The Fish and the Salamander now.
that sounds like a Sleepy Time Gorilla Museum lyric.
It does.
We should play another song, shall we?
Yeah,
We've
let's
been
have
gabbing
another
about
one.
Sure thing.
nonsense
That's great.
for a minute. This is Dan Flugel Project here on KWJUDAS Gumption City Radio.
Little boy, born to a cradle. Your daddy's here, mama's watching you. But time is no hero, it just rushes away. Growing up ain't all it's cracked up to be. Your soul will see you through. When the sun shines, rays of hope. When the rain pours, tears of heaven. When the snow falls, flakes of angels on the walls. And I'll be watching you. When you need me, you know I'll be with you. 'Cause I've been down that road a time or two. When skies get dark out on the horizon, and you're living through those East Coast blues, your soul will see you through. When the sun shines, rays of hope. When the rain pours, tears of heaven. When the snow falls, flakes of angels on the walls. And I'll be watching you. Innocent eyes, shaded by clouds. This world ain't easy, but your soul will survive. Oh man, John said if you imagine there's gonna be a much better day, and you'll get through it, you'll make your own way now. But don't you know it's just a role you must play? Your soul will see you through. When the sun shines, rays of hope. When the rain pours, tears of heaven. When the snow and I'll be watching you. And I'll be watching you. And I'll be watching you.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I dig the saxophone you got in there. Who plays sax?
Robert Weinberger, a friend back in upstate New York, a good friend of mine. Great sax player, great flute player. He's on all 3 of my CDs.
And he's got a great last name.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Wait, say it again.
Weinberger?
Weinberger.
Weinberger.
Yeah, it's a great last name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's on
I could
sax.
go for some Weinberger right now.
Same.
Or wine steak.
Sounds good.
Wine carne asada. No, I don't really cook with wine. It's too dominant of a flavor, I think.
I
But
do like to put it in my steak.
yeah,
Cook a little, yeah.
Yeah, a little
Word.
marinade action.
Yeah, marinate
Yeah.
it, then grill it.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I also quit drinking recently, so
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
having the wine there in front of me, I'd just be like, man,
Carrot. Front of the nose.
it's perfectly drinkable wine.
Why would I cook with it?
Yeah, so I used to cook a lot with beer, but I used to also drink a lot of beer.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like just the idea of buying beer just to cook with is absurd even still. You know, why would I do? I guess I could buy a non-alcoholic
There you go.
pack of beer.
Yeah.
You know, and still you'd get the same flavor.
You would, but why would you do that if it's the same cost?
It is the same
Yeah,
cost.
so why'd you do it?
And they're
Actually,
all
some of
they're
them
all
are
like
more.
Six-pack, drink 4, cook with 2.
yeah. Actually, that doesn't sound like too bad of an idea. You know, maybe that's what I'm going to do after this.
We're not
show.
promoting you falling off the wagon, first of all, okay?
Yeah.
No, I'll drink the non-alcoholic beers because I finally found a purpose for them.
Yes.
You know?
Marinades. Yeah.
And yeah, you can use them to cook with, and I can still drink. Dude, they got a Heineken, a non-alcoholic Heineken that still tastes almost like the real
Yeah,
thing.
I've had it.
It's
Yeah.
close enough.
It is good.
And there's a Blue Moon that tastes pretty much like I
Yeah.
barely notice a difference.
Yeah.
Corona has a non-alcoholic, and especially when you throw a lime in there, you don't notice a difference.
No.
So yeah, I still get the vice, I guess, you know, and don't get drunk and don't poison my liver anymore. I can't help but wonder though, like you're still drinking a non-alcoholic beer, like do you still reap the negative effects that all the other ingredients have on your body? Like
Like the
wouldn't you
carbs.
still have
Oh,
some
yeah.
negative health effects?
Yeah, you gain the
Yeah.
weight because you have the carbs.
Right, you're still
Yeah.
getting a beer belly,
Right.
at least.
Right.
Yep.
But you don't have the effects of the liver, right?
Right.
Alcohol, so.
And I guess that's one thing, but still, like, I assume there's more in beer that still doesn't affect the body very well. Like
Right.
soda,
Yeah,
you know, soda's
exactly.
not good for
Yeah.
you if you drink it in high quantities.
Right.
I understand
No matter
anything
if it's soda with sugar or sugar-free, it's all bad.
like carbonation, I'm told, makes you fat. But I don't know.
Yeah, carbonated
You
water
hear a lot of
shouldn't.
things.
No, carbonated water wouldn't make you fat.
All right, well, I drink a lot of carbonated water too, so
That's good. You're good with that.
those LaCroix things, they're really gross at first,
Yeah.
but then after you get into them, I don't know, they got a couple of good flavors.
I still don't like them.
It's better than doing the sugar, though.
Yeah, they have no sugar,
Right.
so like I don't
That's
think there's much negative health
Right.
effects.
Right.
But yeah, you don't like the LaCroix?
No.
I was just gonna offer you one. I got
This guy.
pomegranate.
I'll take his.
No, it's passion fruit.
Well, I mean, I'll definitely drink one. I just
That's
I
chaser.
would never grab LaCroix off the shelf to put in my cart to bring home to drink. No, but it's
yeah.
palatable. It just I want it to have a little more flavor.
Yeah.
I used to think the same thing, and then you find yourself doing a lot of things you never thought you would find yourself doing.
Right.
Like later on in life, and
Oh, yeah.
things happen, and you're just like, oh, I got a dead leg. That's what happened. Was it actually alcohol killed my leg?
Wow.
I got
Wow.
osteonecrosis in the bone.
Did you? From a scratch or a cut did that to you?
No, just like alcohol can affect different parts of your body besides just your liver.
Right.
You know?
And you somehow got osteonecrosis in the bone in your leg.
In my hip.
If I recall, it's from it cutting off the oxygen to the bone, right? Isn't that how the doctor explained it to you? Like, that's kind of how you explained it to me once.
It actually, like, from my understanding, it actually ate away parts of it.
Yeah, that's what necrosis does.
Right.
So, yeah, I had to get a hip replacement. And I'm not even that old, and I've already had a hip replacement. Thank you, alcohol.
Yeah.
Right.
That'll keep me on the wagon.
So, yeah, and what's funny is, I guess I'm disclosing a little bit of personal information, but whatever. I'm sure that our listeners have probably heard this one before anyways, but it wasn't even the dead leg that made me stop. It was that when I finally found out I was diabetic and had to stick a fucking needle in my stomach every day. That's when I was like, oh, man, I am not doing this anymore.
That's too much.
Yeah, you'd think the dead leg would have done it, but nah. Once I had to start sticking a needle in my stomach every day, I don't have to do that anymore.
Good.
So stopping drinking reversed it.
Right, yeah. Actually, quitting at the time that I did, they said that I was at such an extreme heart attack and stroke risk. Like, my A1C was at like 12.6 or something like that.
Bad.
And once you're above 6, you're diabetic. So I was like double diabetic.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, you're up there.
Yeah. And now I've got my levels down to like 5.7 something ish.
Perfect. You want to be 5'7" or below.
Right. The last I checked, and they said that you're considered pre-diabetic.
Right, because you're at the bubble.
So I can still like eat ice cream every night, I've learned.
Oh, I love ice cream.
I know. Who doesn't?
Who doesn't love ice cream?
But once I quit drinking, that was another thing, is my sweet tooth started kicking in, because alcohol's got a lot of sugar in it.
Yeah, it does.
You know, even if you're not drinking the sweet stuff, you still do get the sugar. And I never ate ice cream while I was drinking, and then I quit drinking, and now I'm all about the ice cream. It's ridiculous. I've learned that they've got this brand called Private Reserve or something like that. It's only at Smith's, and they got a burnt butter truffle. It's just like melts in your mouth.
Really?
It's so delicious.
Well,
What's your flavor, Dave?
is there a Smith's on the way home? Maybe.
Where do I get some?
Yeah.
Do you have a flavor you like?
Oh, I like coffee and chocolate.
Yeah. What about you, Wizard?
Oh, man, I'm all about moose tracks.
Moose tracks.
Oh, yeah.
Those things are
Anything
great.
with tracks in it. Beaver tracks, turtle tracks, moose tracks.
so good.
Salamander tracks.
Yes. Wow,
He's
what
got
would
his
that
own-
have in it?
I don't know.
Something slimy.
That's right.
Slimy and gross.
Probably
What's
some
yours favorite?
marshmallow and some
Yeah, what's yours?
fudge. My favorite?
Yeah.
Like dark chocolate with chocolate chips.
Oh, there you go.
Go big or go home.
Word.
It's got to be dark
Yeah.
chocolate. It's what I love.
Well, you don't really see dark chocolate actually that often.
You don't. You
in
don't. It's hard to find.
No.
The ice cream community.
Yeah, they've got to get together.
gotta-
Right?
Dark
They
chocolate.
figure it
gotta
out.
do something
Start
about
putting in
that.
Smith's and putting in Whole Foods, all those places.
Yeah, they need to hold some rallies.
Yeah.
Talk to your congressman.
Exactly.
Why is there no dark chocolate in any ice cream?
Come on.
I
God
promise
damn
to
it.
bring dark chocolate to every ice cream brand.
Yes.
Vote for me.
I'd vote.
You got my vote.
You'd finally vote.
I'd finally vote.
Now we're starting to get into politics. That means we need to play another song. This is Dan Flugel. We're having a heck of a time here tonight. Thank you all for being with us. Gumption City Radio, KWJUDAS.
I don't mind if the sun don't set in Texas. I don't mind if Murphy lays down the law. If I try, I'll make the ridge by morning. If I do, I ain't never going back to you. Even though my life will never be the same, I can't stand without you. You've dragged me down so many times before. With your hands around my neck, I couldn't breathe. You left me lying face down on the floor. And I don't mind if the sun don't set in Texas. I don't mind if Murphy lays down the law. If I try, I'll make the rich by morning. If I do, I ain't never going back to you. I pried the shackles free so I could leave you. It nearly took my life to do me so. A changed man, I finally roam freely. Without a fix to drive me down the road. And I don't mind if the sun don't set in Texas. I don't mind if Murphy lays down the law. If I try, I'll make the rich by morning. If I do, I ain't never going back to you. When I do, I ain't never going back to you.
Dan Flugel Project, Gumption City Radio, KWJUDAS, Judas. Thank you all for being with us on this Sunday afternoon. So you were saying, while that was playing, that Gap picked that song up?
Yeah, so I got an email from a executive at Gap saying, we heard your album, your second album, Borrowed Time.
How?
I'm with Taxi, Indie Radio, through Taxi. You ever hear of that?
Uh-uh.
Well, that's an avenue where, like, executives and people like that will listen to your stuff.
Huh.
So I was on Taxi for a year, nothing. At the end of the year, all of a sudden, I get this email from executive at Gap, and I said, that's got to be a scam. So I go to my local Gap store. I talked to the manager and said, is this legit? She goes, that's a scam. Of course it's a scam. So I thought so. So I blew it off. I get another email. You know, we've emailed you a couple times. We want you to do a corporate show. We've heard the song King's Lament that you all just heard, and we love it, and we're going to carry your CDs for a year in our stores worldwide.
Nice.
So I said, I got to get a band. I had a band, but it's quick band together. So I had most of my players, but my bass player was not available. So I gave my son, 15 years old, 15 songs and said, you have 2 weeks to learn them, and you have to play them perfectly. He was still in high school. And we did the corporate show, and it came off great. And they carried my CDs. And then from a guy in Austin, Texas, I got a call saying, hey, I thought you said you wrote the song of King's Lament. I said, well, yeah, I did. He goes, I've heard that before somewhere. And I said, do you shop at the Gap?
That's where you've heard it.
So they have it like
awesome
playing on their playlists in the background?
They have playlists, in the store.
Word.
And they did it. And it's not now. It was before, but yeah,
That's
they
cool.
did that for a year.
How long ago was that?
That was probably around, if he was 15, 2018, maybe? 2018? Is that 15? Wait. I'm off on my math.
2008?
No, 2008. Sorry,
2008. That's okay.
That's a lot longer.
Yeah, ago. Yeah.
Ago, yes.
Yeah. She was only 15 then, and he's 31 now, so shout out to you, my son, for doing that show.
Was he playing bass before that, or did you just give him a bass?
Well, he played guitar and bass and a little bit of keyboards that I showed him previous, so he was already in those 3 instruments.
Nice.
So he
Word.
could play those. When I did a show, a bigger show, I'd say, here, there's my son in the crowd. Come up and play a song with us. And he'd get on bass or guitar. Once he got on piano, and he'd just play one song with us, something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
So he
Word.
already knew how to play. It's just that I wanted to nail these songs dead on. You know?
So where did you have to go to do that?
It was in Syracuse, New York, we went. So
Word.
yeah. So I'm from upstate New York anyway, but we did have to drive north and go to Syracuse and do this show. Yeah. So it was cool. Came out good, and it was just funny. It's just funny how it came about.
Were you still living here in Utah?
No, because I just moved here a year ago.
Oh, really?
So I moved here June 1st, 2023. So I was still in upstate New York, but I had a house I bought here in June of 2019 thinking I'm going to move here, but I didn't get here until 2023.
Why is that? Because of COVID?
Well, because I was working still. I thought I'd get out of my job, but I couldn't. So I kept working on my job, and I thought I could retire, but I couldn't. So I finally did retire June 1, 2023. So now my music's full-time.
Very nice.
Back then it was more of an avocation, but I put a lot of effort in, went to studios, recorded, like On Point Studios, did these 3 CDs. Damian Cornwell, great job, my man. Then recently I just did a music video, Jay Mooney and his Broad Cavern Studios. And shout out to you for doing that music video. He said it's going to be in my box tonight at 7 o'clock. So it's probably in my email right now.
Right now.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Word. Got that to look forward to.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what time it is?
What time?
It's the middle of the show.
Oh, already?
It's already the
Wow.
middle
Is it
of
really?
the show. That's what
Okay.
time it is.
It's
Wow.
flying.
Well,
And,
that
yeah.
We're
means
having
it's
fun.
time for one of Wizard's useless facts.
So, Australia is wider than the moon. And
Wow.
which is true. This is a true fact. I think Australia is it's almost 2,000 miles across.
Yeah.
And the moon is like 1,500.
Wow.
Oh, I thought you said whiter.
Wider.
What?
Wider.
Wider.
Because the moon is pretty white.
It is pretty white.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell is Australia made out
It's
of?
made all of whites.
and here's another fun one. Just why not double down? The French built a fake Paris during World War I to throw off the German bombers.
Ooh, I heard that.
Was anyone living there?
No. That's
Was
the
it
point.
close by?
Yeah, so
Is they
would
built a
bomb-
fake city so that when they came to bomb Paris, they were bombing an empty city.
Right. Smart.
That seems like a
Interesting.
lot of effort.
Yeah, it does.
Building a
does.
whole fake city.
Yeah.
I mean,
But they do that in Hollywood, don't they?
All the time.
Right.
CGI.
Well, yeah, not anymore. It's
Yeah.
all CGI now.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Wizard, for that useless fact.
Yeah.
There you have it.
Those are.
Those useless facts. Let's get into some more music, shall we? This is Dan. Sorry, I almost said Dave. Dave
That's
and
okay.
Dan.
I'm Dave. He's Dan.
Dave and Dan from Dan Flugel Project, Gumption City Radio.
Spending evenings all alone with an emptiness inside. 20 minutes can last a lifetime with lips of perfect size. Stranger things have happened
Yeah. Hard stop. Hard stop.
Gangsta shit. So you said there was a story behind that one too, huh?
Yeah, there's a story behind that. So I had a good friend. We used to run around together. He'd always come see our band. He started becoming our sound man because I taught him to do sound. So for my last few big shows, he was actually our sound man. But one day he comes to me, and this happens a lot where people challenge me to write a song. Dave knows it's already happened in our band.
Yeah.
And I wrote a song recently because the drummer challenged me. But this guy, Mark Allen, said, I want you to write a song about a woman you love so much, you put her in your pocket and only bring her out at night, and you call her Pocket Size. So I went right in my studio, and 15 minutes
That's a random
later,
challenge.
isn't it? So I went in my studio and wrote this song Pocket Size because of that challenge where, I say, about a woman that you love so much, but I only bring her out at night. You heard that in the lyrics.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. So that's the story behind it. And unfortunately, he passed a few years ago, one of my great friends.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Ah,
Unexpectedly.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Mark.
So you also said you had another story about somewhat of a real estate
Yeah.
endeavor. He said that he doesn't believe in anything supernatural much,
I don't.
but then
Then,
there was that one time.
yeah. So here I am renovating a home, which people back home know I did quite a few. And I started working on this house, and some strange things started to happen. For instance, I started the very first day. The broom just fell over, but the windows were open. And I said, well, the wind can do that because I had all the screens in and windows open. Then a metal toolbox that I had the top up on tipped on its back. And I thought, that doesn't make
That's not
any
the wind.
sense. So I was working along whistling. I'm renovating, so I'm whistling along because I like to. And I heard somebody whistling as well. So I looked around, and thinking somebody's visiting, and I looked out the window, nobody in the house. So I just blew it off. Next day I go to work, and this woman comes in and said, somebody bought this house over on Torrance, and I lived there with my ex-husband who died in that house, and it's haunted, but they're going to tear it down and get rid of it. And I didn't say a word because I didn't know what to say to her.
Wow.
So I just kept it quiet. So she comes back a week later and she said, I would never go in there because he drank himself to death, and he haunts that house, and he's a whistler, and he plays pranks, and he did stuff like hid money in the attic, and he would hide it and move it and hide it and move it, always moving boxes, and he was just a kind of a prankster. So that day I go to work on that house again, and my daughter shows up just to say hello. She's younger, and as we're in the kitchen, we heard something in the attic dragging along the attic.
Wow.
So I said, I have to go up, right? So I put up a little step ladder. You have to open the hatch. When I opened the hatch, the light bulb blew, and it went right in my face and like burned the side of my face.
Wow.
Yeah, so I
Damn.
climbed back down and said, I'm not going back up there. So this place was truly haunted. My son came after that another day, and every time we went to drill a cabinet up, the lights would go off, and then when we'd stop it, they'd go on. So they kept playing that game.
You're wigging me out, dude.
And then I had a shop vac, a brand new shop vac, and I was shop vacuuming up in the bathroom where I'd knocked the wall. And every time I was vacuuming, I had my back to the shop vac, it would shut off. I first thought I tripped a breaker, but I'd turn it back on, it would work, I'd shut off again. Finally, I stared at it and turned it on, and it didn't shut off. So really had a lot of weird stuff going on.
Crazy. So it wasn't like one thing happened
No.
there. This kept happening.
This kept happening. So I finish, and I rent it to a 275-pound prison guard, right? And he's there.
Word.
He's there about a month. He brings his girlfriend in who has a few kids, And 2 weeks in, she calls me, is there something wrong with this house? Is this haunted? Somebody's screwing with my vacuum cleaner.
Wow.
And I said, nope, I know nothing about that. I don't know about any ghosts.
Just
That's
say there's something
crazy.
up
Yeah,
with
it's
the electrical there.
wicked.
Yeah, they moved out.
I bet. I'll bet no one's going to live there for very long.
That's right. So there's my story.
Wow.
That's-
not bad. Not
That's
bad.
That's a
crazy.
good one. Wow.
Yeah.
Is there a song in that one?
I didn't write a song
You
about
didn't write
that.
a song.
No,
Well, I'm
no,
challenging
no.
you right
There
now.
you go. You just got a new challenge.
I just did, yeah.
And now you got to write something spooky.
Yeah.
Speaking of songs, I'd like to hear another one.
All right. This is Dan Flugel on KWJUDAS, Gumption City Radio.
Now she's real sweet, she's got a lot of friends, one you'd like to meet. You ask her for a pimpin' down on the side, she's putting you down on the outside. Talking about life, right in the projects. Talking about life in the projects. You see, riding with the soul the other day. His mama left him early, his papa didn't pay. Never quite right from all the beating. Now he's living a life of lies, lust, and cheating. Bunny real cool, she ain't nobody's fool. Plays with your heartstrings, use you as a tool. Have lunch Tuesday, too much to drink. Food to coop on Friday, town to shrink. That's life, life in the projects. Talking about life in the projects.
Hey, whiz! Behold! Behold indeed. Are you tired of combing your hair with that regular old fishing reel?
I am the wizard.
Indeed you are.
I have a small eggplant.
A wizard? Are you ready for a revolutionary hair care product from Derpenschlee?
I beseech thee, a gyroscopic platypus.
Well, that's not a...
Playfully picking pecks of pickled pomegranates.
Wizard, come back to us. Are you with me, wizard? Are you with me?
Oh, yes. I am. Can I interest you in a fishing reel?
That's an eggplant.
It's still brought to you by Derpenschlee.
And that's my line.
Pick me pickled pomegranates.
All these places, empty spaces, over and over I visit them. All these problems reoccurring, solitude of me, get rid of them. Sometimes when it rains, the circles in my mind go into spirals. I look to the rain to wash away the scars of bad experiences. Look what's happening in my life. Can I find someone to love? Someone to give me real time. Can I find someone to love? I follow the stream into the woods, looking up at the sky for a solution. I close my eyes and clear my mind of all the filth and pollution. Inner peace, fresh just got, my heart is filled with absolution. The time has come for making peace with each and every one. But look what's happening in my life. Can I find someone to love? Someone to give me real time. We'll always be together. Can I find someone to love? Can you fill your dreams with thoughts of love? Well, then you made a friend. I feel my body coming closer and closer to the end. Reflecting back on the years and tears I lived inside a purple haze. I get the chance to live again, reclaim my soul and fly away. Look what's happening in my life. Can I find someone to love? Someone to give me real time. Can I find someone? Can I find someone? Someone to give me real time.
Very nice.
Dan Flugel Project here on KWJUDAS. Thank you all for bearing witness. So you said that last song was on a soundtrack?
Yeah, it was on the soundtrack of a movie called Summer of Tomorrows. How that came about, I was in the studio recording my first CD, and a independent movie producer came into the studio to ask Damien, that's the main producer there, I need a title track for this new movie I'm doing. And he gave him the premise of the movie, and Damien said, I got the guy for you, and came to me and said, here's what's going on. And the first 4 lines of that song, actually, I took out of my partner, my buddy's, music buddy's, rambling notebook, and I took 4 of his lines, and then I made the song go around that, pretty much the premise of the movie. So the real time was the title track for the movie, and it became a nice little boost for my performance because the word got out. So I got to do some bigger shows because of that.
Oh, very nice.
Did you get paid?
I got well. Let me think about that.
Because there's the exposure, and then there's the
Yeah. So here's how this went. No, I didn't get paid for that one. But after that, I got many great shows that I got paid well for.
That is still good.
So the exposure is what did it.
Exposure is what did it. Because to be on a title track for a movie was pretty cool at that time, you know.
It still would be cool.
Yeah.
I want to be on a soundtrack.
Yeah.
See, we were kind of telling you about our band. It's all instrumental stuff, so it'd be great for a soundtrack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. Some of them do sound very soundtrack-ish.
Yeah.
So if you know anybody making any movies, send them our way.
Okay.
Will do.
But enough about us. We're coming to the end of the hour, so before we go, what is, first of all, anything that you got coming up, like any shows, or you said you had a music video coming up?
Yeah, it's going to be dropped in my box tonight on a new song. That's the title track for the new CD, which is called Lost My Mind and My Shoes.
Nice. I like that.
When, do you know when that's coming out? The album?
No, I don't know when the album's coming out because our drummer's the producer. He's a sound technician. He knows what he's doing. Dave and I are more just the background, not knowing what we're doing,
Right.
other than playing. So Jared is really doing all the production. So that's where we're going next. And if I go back to New York, of course, I can go back to On Point Studios where these 3 were done, and I can always do some tracks there as well.
Word.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So where do we? Sorry, what?
Well, so currently we don't have any gigs lined up, but we are certainly looking to open for people, to play bars, to play festivals, whatnot.
And, and being that we're not a cover band, it's different. We can do 40 original songs.
That's always good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Nashville loved it when I played there. They thought it was the greatest thing. And upstate New York, they loved it too. It's hard to break in Salt Lake with all original music. I think.
It is. We've experienced this issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
And having the covers, like if you can do covers, it definitely like helps.
We can do them, and I've
Yeah.
done them all my life.
Right.
And that's probably where I got, all the big shows I did. But when I started doing the bigger, like last 3 warm-ups were for Keith Urban, then Blake Shelton, and Bon Jovi.
Nice.
Those are all originals. I don't play any covers when I do those shows. But if I'm
Right.
at John's bar,
The people that are intoxicated want to hear something familiar.
You got it.
Exactly.
So
They're not there
we'll
to pick
do
up something
Brown-Eyed
new.
Girl by Van
Exactly.
Morrison, which I've played maybe 1,000 times or more in my life. And, I could do it backward. I could do it in my sleep, but people love it, and they'll dance and sing,
Yeah. And that's what you want.
Yeah.
And then that's how you get them in to listen to a couple originals.
Yes. That's
Yep.
how it started with me.
Yep.
Word.
Exactly.
Very nice.
So we're just looking for traction right now, trying to break in.
I might have a show in Payson that needs an opener.
That'd be great.
Sign us
October
up.
4th. I mean, we can talk
Payson
about
would
it
love you guys.
after the
Cool.
show a little bit more.
Awesome.
But before we go, also, where do we find your music? Where's the best place
You
to?
can find my music on Spotify,
It's YouTube.
Pandora, Rhapsody, iTunes, YouTube. There's I think 256 medias that it carries. So anything you have that you download, you can find my music pretty much.
Very nice.
Just look up Dan Flugel Project.
Yeah, just look up Dan Flugel and you'll find me there because it was before the project became together.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hell yeah. Thank you all for being with us tonight. We got one more magical little ditty for you. This is Dan Flugel Project, Gumption City Radio, KWJUDAS, signing off.
My life's been haunting me from the day that I met you. I can't decide which emotion is more clear. My heart's been full of tears and my mind's been full of rage. I'm sentenced to a hell of senseless hope and fear. It seems the only thing I'm sure of is there is only so much heart left in me to lose. But don't you know there's not enough love in this whole world to ravage and destroy hearts everywhere you go. I'm down here on my knees, I'm praying to God and hoping that He sees a man who's torn apart and bleeding at the seams. A man who's walking through the ashes of his dreams. Won't you send me some light? 'Cause you're the only one who can make it right. Maybe one day you'll send me a love to fill my life. This lonely hunter picking up pieces of promises thrown. My light's burning out and I'm out here alone. We're all immune to pain unless it's ours to own. Be careful with your soul, it isn't housed in stone. Down here on my knees, I'm praying to God and hoping that He sees a man who's torn apart and bleeding at the seams. A man who's walking through the ashes of his dreams. Won't you send me some light? 'Cause you're the only one who can make it right. Maybe one day you'll send me love to fill my life. I'm praying to God and hoping that He sees a man who's torn apart and bleeding at the seams. A man who's walking through the ashes of his dreams. Won't you send me some light? 'Cause you're the only one who can make it right. And maybe one day you'll send me love to fill my life.
We'd like to thank you for joining us yet again on another exciting and exclusive episode of KWJUDAS Gumption City Radio. We now turn you back to our regularly scheduled Gumption City programming.